Well, I'm at the famous Peppemill Lounge restaurant, and of course this is the bar part of it, which is the lounge part of it. But I've been trying to get this guest on for so long. His name is Nicholas, and he's actually the chef of the Peppemill. And I've been dying to get you on because we keep promoting it and sort of, you know, you have such a famous place here. And you're the one that does sort of all the cooking. You're the chief chef, right?
I do.
The executive, he's the executive chef of the Peppemill restaurant.
Yes, I am. The Fireside Lounge.
Fireside Lounge, yes.
I've been trying to come on here for a while also. Just every time I get a chance to do it, I get pulled away 3 other different directions.
I know, because you're very busy, because everybody asks you questions, and of course, this place is very, very busy all the time.
All the time.
And then you're open 24 hours.
24/7, full menu.
24/7. Now, how, good Lord, can you imagine? I've often wondered how do people do that, but you know, there are such things as shifts. So during, you know, what shift do you do? Because you're mostly during the day.
Mostly, usually start about 8. Most of the time we leave around like 6 o'clock. There's been times where I've worked all the way through until the next day.
Really?
There's just certain situations where certain cooks don't show up.
Yeah.
You know, you have a manager on the floor that's sick or whatnot, so I take out my chef coat, put on
become a
nice
manager.
shirt, go be a manager on the floor, and then graveyard do the chef thing again.
Now, the Peppemill has been open since what, 1972?
December 26, 1972.
December 26, 1972.
Merry Christmas present.
Oh, yeah, great Christmas present. Actually, it's a Boxing Day present, because in England it's called Boxing Day, the 26th, day after Christmas. Yeah, it's Boxing Day. You don't have Boxing Day in America, but we have.
What exactly is it?
Boxing Day is when all the help have worked on Christmas Day, and all the presents that were in boxes, they give them actually to the help. So that now the help have all these beautiful boxes and everything, so they use them for their presents, so they call it Boxing Day. So yeah, it's quite cool. So they have their, so I'm glad I was able to explain that. I got it right.
She was like, quickly, explain it.
Yeah, tweet all that out. But anyway, so, and actually your mother, Peggy, is the manager here.
Yeah, she's been the manager, the general manager here for 20 plus years.
Yes.
She's worked here for, I think, 42 years, since 76.
Wow.
1976.
She's an amazing woman. She has everything totally uncool with his mother.
If I don't say that, I'm in trouble.
You're going to be in big trouble, believe me.
I want a job tomorrow.
Now, you've also, you know, what made you become a chef?
You know what, I grew up here, and basically I think I was 2 days old the first time I walked through these doors. And it's just been part of our family. And that's one of the great things that it is about working here, is that everybody's family. You know, from the owners down to the busboys, dishwashers, line cooks, servers.
So everybody's kind of treated the same as family.
And
I think we feel that when we walk in here.
It's kind of hard going other places because you're just a name or a number or just a body.
Yes.
And when you walk through the doors in the morning and you see everybody and they're happy to see you, or they're not happy to see you and they just, you know, they fake it. But it's just great to be able to do that.
It's like a purpose in life. You have a purpose in life.
Exactly. And what we do here is make life easier for other people by preparing the food, that kind of thing. And especially with the employees. They're just, like I said, this is family.
It's family.
So it's just one of those things. But plus the cooking, I've always been cooking. I mean, I've got pictures of myself when I was 2 years old working on the counter.
2 years old is cooking.
Baking cakes and flipping eggs and doing that kind of stuff. Yeah.
So you always had it within you, and you get great enjoyment. You know, there's nothing like doing something you like in this world, because we all have to work. Whichever way it is, nothing comes for free. So you all have to work. But I always felt that work could be something that you enjoy, then it becomes not work.
Exactly.
Because you enjoy it. So it's not work because you come in here and you're ready.
Enjoy it. It doesn't feel like work.
No, it doesn't feel like work because you're enjoying it all the time.
I wish I could say it doesn't feel like work all the time. But
yeah, well, sometimes it does feel like work. Yeah. You want to be up in the mountains skiing or something. Yeah. Absolutely. Now, you have also, I think, on the menu, or whether you have it on the menu or not, some things that you've invented yourself for hair. What are they?
For example, we just put I call it a Sin City BLT. It's your traditional bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich with an addition of avocado. an over medium egg, fresh pesto sauce on 1-inch thick Texas toast.
What does that sound? I'm so hungry. Guess what I'm ordering?
It's quickly becoming the best-selling sandwich on our menu.
Now, why do you make your portions? Because I'm sure this is a big portion. You make your portions very large.
It's one of the things we've just been known for. I came in 7 years ago, and we were known for big portions. But now it's more. The food industry is evolving, especially here in Vegas. You have to be unique to stand out. You've got to keep changing. Exactly. You got to keep evolving to keep up with the times. We have been here for 45 years, but at the same time, I've seen people go out of business in a month. You got to keep up with the game, and especially with all these famous chefs that's coming to town, Jose Andres and all these guys.
I don't know if people really know this, but I think Las Vegas, is one of the most well-known cities probably in the world with the greatest restaurants, because you've got every restaurant from all over the world here.
And it's just
got a competition.
Yeah, and it's just happened in the last 10 years where we've been in an upper echelon of cities that have great food. And it's become so huge. I mean, there's so many places to eat in this town. And as busy as we stay, and as many places have gone down, as far as the Riviera and the Stardust and all the surrounding buildings that surround us.
Yes.
And we keep getting busier.
Yes.
So it just says something about
But then you've got, and the Riviera was right next door to you, because that came down, and that's now, I believe, a parking lot. I don't know what they're doing with it.
It's going to be convention space eventually.
Yes.
Right now they've converted into a big parking lot for overflow for the convention center.
Yeah.
I think in a couple of weeks there's going to be the Concrete Expo. They're going to have a bunch of aggregate machines and that kind of stuff over there. So that's going to be kind of fun to have
that brings a lot of traffic to and then across the street, don't you have? Isn't that a big, like a fun fair park or something? I'm not quite sure what it is, but it's very large.
I'm not really sure what it's going to be either.
There's two of us. It's okay.
They started and stopped that construction, I think 3 or 4 different times.
Yes.
It was supposed to be the Echelon.
Yeah, the Echelon
place, and then is Resorts World, and now they started construction again. I'm not sure if it's the same company or whether they bought the property and have being the same. No. But it's going to be they started construction.
So it's going to be very large.
We're really looking
I think
forward
it's probably getting the permits and everything. They have to stop and get the permits because I know that Vegas is very strict on their permits, because otherwise you could go totally wild. And they do allow, a lot of permits have to do a lot of stuff, which they're quite easy with it. But I think sometimes, they've got to.
I think those construction workers would disagree with you as far as them being quite easy with them.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of those guys come over here and eat, since they've started construction over there, and they're going at it hard. So
really?
They're looking, I think, for a 2019 completion.
2000, but at least it gives them jobs. This opens up jobs. I mean, I think the job situation in Vegas has definitely increased, and I think the tourism has increased. So how do you feel about it?
I think for the first year since I think 2007, 2008, Nevada had a positive gaming revenue.
Yes.
For the first time in almost 10 years.
Really?
Yeah.
So the gaming's coming back.
The gaming's coming back. It's actually, I don't know how they explained it to me, but it was the gaming, they're kind of going away from gaming and more of like the retail, restaurants kind of thing.
Yeah.
But gaming is always going to be part of Vegas.
I was going to say gaming's always, the slot machines and the gaming and the card games and everything, it's always going to be there. Although I think it's been very prominent with the restaurants, and then it's been very prominent with the booths in the nightclubs. They've got nightclubs that are costing $25,000. I mean, champagne.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, seriously. Well, $2,500.
Really good champagne.
They are. I mean, it's just amazing how they're doing. But the younger generation are paying this.
It's ridiculous. I haven't been to a club since probably 2006.
Oh,
and
I beat you.
So, have you?
I beat me. I'm out there.
But I stopped going because it got so expensive.
Well, that's it.
And that I just got old. But at the same time,
you got old. Look at him. You got old.
Well, you get like you go to the same
lazy.
You go to the clubs though, and the same thing. You get everybody a couple hours in, everybody's just.
Well, when you live here, it's a little different.
Exactly.
Yeah, when you live here, it's a little different. You see the clubs, and you go to the networking things, and everything becomes the same. Or then you see the same people all the time. But for people coming into town, it's always something new.
It's a huge party.
Yes, it's a huge. And it's funny because when I was coming in on Sunday night, I was driving from Los Angeles. The traffic going out was amazing. It was, and I never remember. It was non-stop cars, and I thought, well, if this is non-stop, they were all in there. They were all in Vegas.
We do a little. Me and my brother and and one of the owner of one of the dealerships here in town. We do a little off-road racing, best in the desert stuff, and we go out and we race out in Prim, and that's all we see on, as we're sitting out there, prepping the truck for the next day. It's just this massive line of cars.
And either going out,
They're going
you're
out,
out on a Friday or Thursday or
And
Friday. They're all coming in.
Yeah.
Sunday, they're all going out.
Yeah.
But it never used to be like that, and it's just one
amazing.
continuous mass line of cars. And so Vegas is still very, very popular. I think it's becoming more popular now, but also it's becoming more of a place for people to live.
Yeah, I mean, I've lived here my entire life.
You were born here.
Born and raised, 35 years.
A true Vegas. True Vegas.
I've seen it go, in a completely different direction. Before, you used to be able to go out to the casinos, throw, a couple $100 around, get a room for the next weekend.
Yeah.
It's extremely hard to get anything homes here in town. But
Now.
at the same time, yeah. But there's a lot more to do now.
Yes, a lot to do, yeah. I mean, you can walk the strip, there's so much to do, it's just amazing. It's just
not
absolutely wonderful. So, what do you do for entertainment in Las Vegas, apart from being at the Peppemill?
You know what? I'm kind of a homebody. When I'm not here, I'm at home, with my girlfriend and my little girl.
Yes.
And,
You have a little girl?
I do. She's 14. Well, not little
No,
anymore.
she's 14. No, she'll always be little to you.
Oh, she will be.
She always be.
No, but she literally is little. She's like 4'9".
Oh, okay. She really is a
she's
tiny one.
But and then 6 or 8 times a year, like I said, we do a little off-road racing.
Yeah, which is nice.
Yeah, it's always done because basically there's nothing around.
Now, I've noticed that you've got the Peppemill during all the college and pro football games. You've got come to the Peppemill.
It's 6 Corona Modelo.
Yes.
You get 6 of those for $18.
Okay.
And that is going through just until the Super Bowl, so 2 more weeks.
A couple of more weeks.
And then the Pro Bowl next week. So if anybody wants to come down and watch the Pro Bowl with us, we have, I think it's like 30 screens in here.
30 screens here down in the lounge, and also you've got screens out there as well in the restaurant.
We do. We don't play any of the football games out there in the restaurant.
Oh, just in the lounge.
Just in the
how
lounge.
lovely. So
Yeah.
the guys can come in, have their beer
Absolutely.
and drink, and in these lovely booths. Oh, by the way, I forgot to say, we're sitting in, this is the Elvis Presley nook.
It is.
This is where
Absolutely.
Elvis Presley used to sit all the time. He used to come in the back door and sit here and, have his whole entourage and everything.
The whole Rat
here.
Pack and
The Rat
when
Pack.
they're filming Casino, they're sharing.
Did you meet all these
Stones and
people and everything?
You know what? I did not. I was a little young.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was
Still
like
in
middle school.
Middle
think.
school,
Yeah, when Casino
getting
came
ready
out,
for
so-
college and all that stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I wasn't here for any of that. Peggy was, and she, can't come home and talk about it. And he said that they were filming this movie, and
They're
how
very
she got to meet De
exciting.
Niro. And that
Do you
kind
get a
of
lot of the actors and a lot of the people performing coming in here still?
stuff. We do. A lot of the local strip performers
Yes.
come in. We've had anywhere from Chris Angel. He likes to come in. For a
Oh,
lot.
Chris Angel, yeah.
I haven't seen any of the real big ones, like Celine Dion and Mariah Carey or anything like that. But we're waiting for them.
We're waiting for them. Believe me, they'll be coming in and we'll be seeing them, absolutely. So don't forget to join the Peppemill Lounge, the Fireside Lounge, and also the restaurant. They're open 24 hours a day, and of course this is our great chef, so you're always in for a good time. Thank you, Nicholas,
Thank
so
you, Ninon,
much.
for having me
Okay,
on. I
take care.
appreciate it.
Yes, absolutely.